it's time to get into the news. Adnan Burke, the Raw commentator, got released earlier this week.
Hallelujah! Praise Jesus!
You Jews?
Yes, praise Jesus.
Is well, first of all, I'm glad I don't have to say his name ever again. Second of all, is this just going to be, hey, remember that time when that guy said, we're gonna need a bigger boat on Raw?
I mean, yeah. I mean, do people really forget that Adnan Burke was brought back to manage Sergeant Slaughter in 1991? No, wait, I'm sorry, that's General Adnan.
Wrong guy.
Yeah. God, this is Mike Adamle all over again.
At least that Mike Adam Lee was entertaining.
I
mean,
okay,
Jeff Harvey. Jeff Harvey, that was not a complete crack up. And I will never forget the conversation he had with Kane about the burlap sack and how kids were going to school and he couldn't have that on his show. One of the greats. He's getting replaced by what is his name again now?
Jimmy Smith.
Repeat that.
Jimmy Smith.
Oh, the actor, great.
Not Jimmy Smits. Jimmy Smith from American Ninja Warrior.
Well, I love me some Jimmy Smiths. But you think
Good.
he would do a better job than Jimmy Smith? Jimmy Smiths?
Are we really talking about how the WWE would be if Bail Organa booked it or was announcing it?
Well, what they really are doing, they're making a play to get Leo Organa.
Well, I mean, unless they have a necromancer.
I mean, Papa Shango's still available, if I'm not mistaken. I know Mama Shango just gave birth to Baby Shango, so maybe one of them is available as well. And maybe a big shocker, Tom Phillips got released earlier this week as well. Kind of the main commentator for quite some time, and it really seemed like he was going to be the guy to replace even Michael Cole at this point. But then again, he got bounced from show to show regularly. Is this a bad call by WWE?
I think it's it's honestly a very puzzling decision. I know that the fan consensus on him was that he was a huge dork. That was this, that's what people thought of Michael Cole. It's what some people still think of Michael Cole. I think the WWE, in terms of its commentary team, is at a point where WCW was with its product in the late 2000s, hoping something gets over in a matter of like days. And when the reaction to Adnan Burke was nothing, and it didn't do anything for ratings. Like, the WWE seems to be putting so much emphasis on the commentary team, to boost the ratings.
I mean, we know better than anybody that commentary is an essential part of pro wrestling. Um, we even had a conversation about with Theo Ivory about it. Um, but it seems like they're looking for the next JR and Jay the King Lawler. And I don't know if there is a Jerry Lawler and JR out there, except the originals.
Yeah, there will not be anybody who had the connection that JR and Lawler had. They were on par with Monsoon and Heenan. Uh, and even Vincent Jesse Ventura. Um,
Now, again, commentary is a big part of the product. When you go into one of those shows, you want somebody you trust to tell you what's going on. And do you think that that is something we WWE can achieve without with the heavily producing them in the background? You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, I think really maybe it's time to let, and maybe for them to get out of the ears of the commentators and give them essentially bullet points, but let them. We're at a point where maybe they shouldn't be biased anymore, or unbiased, I should say, because Michael Cole, has certainly done that, and this is just a very unusual situation, and it's gonna probably get worse before it gets better. People are already taking bets on how long Jimmy Smith is gonna last.
Yeah, I would take that bet as well. Now, another thing coming out of the news, we've been talking about, SummerSlam being in Las Vegas this year. One thing we didn't talk about was that it's going to be on a Saturday.
Yes,
Um,
it is, and it was officially confirmed with the latest commercial, 8/21/21, August 21st.
uh,
SummerSlam. They did not mention the location in the commercial, although Allegiant Stadium is still the leading candidate.
and there's some rumors and innuendo, if you want to believe them, that there's been some complications with Allegiant um, Stadium in Las Vegas. Um, I don't know the specifics, or is this again rumor and innuendo? Should it be confirmed by now? Because I know a lot of people were saying that Las Vegas was even informed that they're having it.
Yeah, it seems like they the WWE are trying to really do this by the book, and they want they want SummerSlam to be the experience that WrestleMania 37 really wasn't.
You think SummerSlam's gonna be 2 nights?
No.
Yeah.
No, it will go back to 4 hours. Um, uh, they want to make sure that the fans will not need masks, which
Don't know how that's gonna happen.
in Nevada, I don't know the if they've lifted any mask restrictions uh yet. Um, yeah. Plus, they want to be able to offer the travel packages as well.
Which could be a sticky situation, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that kind of caught people off guard was that there is another, I believe it's a boxing match with Manny Pacquiao that same evening. Um, is that any threat to WWE? Is people going to say, "Oh, I want to go see that" rather than a WWE event, or is people going specifically for WWE and specifically for that boxing match?
Um. Oh, it's Pacquiao versus Spence, which is uh. I mean, quite honestly, I'm not. I mean, people are saying Pacquiao should be long retired already. Um,
He had a career in singing, but that didn't go well.
he get a career in Filipino government as well. He's an elected official in the Filipino Senate, I believe, or Congress. One of their bodies of government. Um, or is it Singapore? Dang it, I can't remember it, and I apologize to Singapore, Philippines, and or Thailand. No, it's the Philippines. I hope. Um,
I'll apologize in Mandarin, Scooter.
but uh, 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 maybe, or should I apologize in Taiwanese?
Gomen nasai. Yeah.
Hasso. Well, well, you,
You did not see that coming, did you?
I, Dachan.
So,
There.
you just Googled that, didn't you?
No, I have a big wrinkle brain. Uh, we don't. I don't know where the Pacquiao this boxing match is taking place. My money would be on the MGM Grand.
That would make sense.
I mean, that's where things usually happen, unless it's unless it's going to be yep, it's in Vegas.
It's not on Fight Island.
Uh, it's going to be behind an Applebee's. Uh,
Well, as long as it's not on the side of the road by Golden Corral. Is there a Golden Corral?
there's no Golden Corrals in Nevada. That there are plenty other discount buffets.
Those are Russian roulette buffets at this point. Alright, moving on.
Yes.
Speaking of Russian roulette, Buff Bagwell is in a lot of trouble right now. He got arrested for a lot of misdemeanors.
Well, I mean, it goes from misdemeanor to like super demeanor at that point. Why haven't we seen any female wrestlers named Misdemeanor? Uh, Still Buff. Oh God, I mean, the guy's got such a terrible run of bad luck.
I
He was
mean,
in a
ever
car
since they put
accident earlier.
his mother on a pole.
I mean, the guy, the guy was a friggin' gigolo. And I'll never forget. I actually saw that episode where he and three other gigolos went one after another with a cougar in his what was his tryout thing. God. Then the pimp or the guy in charge is like, "Yo, man, I'm bringing in Buff Bagwell to join us." And like, the other guys are like, "Okay," but I can tell you this: he might be buff, but he ain't got the stuff anymore.
I would make the
In
argument
fact,
he never even had the stuff to begin with.
in in fact, it looked to be a little too cold Scorpio in that hotel room. It's a 1993 joke.
Only two people got that that joke. Uh, Next up, John Cena in hot water. He said Taiwan was a country, and China took offense, and what made John Cena apologize in Mandarin.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you got the Republic of China, which is what Taiwan is considered to be an independent country, but then you have China saying, "No, you're part of us. You apologize now. Don't make me break down your heaty wall."
And CM Punk changed his Twitter bio to Taiwan is a country. So we might be
Chinese.
getting another WrestleMania match with John Cena and CM Punk.
I mean, technically, it would be the first WrestleMania match between John Cena and CM Punk, but
They've never had a Mania
I mean,
match.
considering that Taiwan is known as the Republic of China, but the country we commonly refer to as China is the People's Republic of China.
So,
And then there's the Democratic Independent People's Chinese substitute with half the calories. Um,
and of course, The Rock is the Chinese people's champion.
I mean, there's a joke about, is Chinese food still Chinese food in China?
Of course it is. Why wouldn't?
But what do you think somebody would respond to in China if said, "Man, I feel like some Chinese food"?
Yes, let's get some Chinese food.
Oh, you mean food?
Well, what do you think they call tacos in Japan?
Taku!
Now you get an octopus. And that's a joke for the only one person that actually speaks Japanese in this podcast.
Hey, my wife speaks Japanese, so
Does she listen to this podcast?
nope.
Then it's just for me.
Well, I can barely stand my voice as it is.
And lastly, WWE might be in negotiations to be New Japan's exclusive partner in the States. This is big news. It could be rumor and innuendo, but if it's not, this could be a big move for WWE.
Yes, the talks are legit. WWE President and Chief Revenue Officer Nick Khan
No
recently
relation to
reached
Tony
out.
Khan.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Recently reached out to New Japan and began talking about a potential working relationship. Again, not something that will happen overnight, but one that would see the WWE become the exclusive North American partner for New Japan. The talks go back to late March, early April. The primary subject of these negotiations, these talks, was the potential of Daniel Bryan going to work some dates. There's no mention of any other talent at this point. It remains to be seen if anything will come of the talks. It's possible that something will happen in the future. It's as of right now, it's not happening right now, and nothing has been reached yet. Talks are going on and off, and it should be noted that the WWE doesn't have the leverage here to force New Japan to make them the North American exclusive partner, because it wouldn't. They'd still be working with AEW and Impact. This would not be a case of them stopping all work,
No,
because if
yeah.
if the WWE essentially pointed that gun at New Japan, so to speak, New Japan would walk away in an instant.
Right. And we'll get up about the ramifications of that in a moment. But let's talk about, the talent swapping. Dream matches could happen. And you talked about Daniel Bryan. I'm excited to maybe see LIJ in a Survivor Series 5-on-5 match. That would be really cool in my mind. And you would be sacrificing John Moxley and Chris Jericho, but I mean, at this point, is Daniel Bryan a bigger name?
Yes. Yes. The potential for Daniel Bryan Okada, Daniel Bryan Ibushi,
Daniel Bryan Sonata.
Daniel Bryan Naito, Okada and Orton.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Bryan and Tanahashi, Cena and Tanahashi.
And you can imagine, the only person that came up was Daniel Bryan. But, WWE has a lot of their alumni. You got Prince Devitt, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, the Viking Raiders, Nakamura. I can't imagine that they wouldn't want some of those guys back. And WWE doesn't necessarily, with the exception of AJ Styles, WWE doesn't really hold value with those guys. So I can't imagine that they wouldn't say, okay, pal, give them those guys. You know what I mean?
Ye- yes. Oh, oh, wait a minute. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my God. Literally, this just came in less than an hour ago. Drew McIntyre put out a tweet with, and as I say this, each phrase is on its own line. On Monday, Kofi will accept his doom at my hands. Stack all those on top of each other. Take the first letters of each. O, K, A, D, A.
Okada.
Yep.
That's great trolling by Drew. Now, Dream, and that would be a dream match, Okada versus Drew McIntyre. Um, but is WWE doing this more or less to spite AEW? Or do you think that there is really, a seriousness in wanting to get New Japan talent on their cards?
I now again there's no indication that New Japan talent would be competing for the WWE. Um
Well, I don't
I
think that
can
they're going to give them Daniel Bryan and not get anything in return.
well they could sign Daniel Bryan by without the WWE's approval at the moment.
That's true.
Remember, these talks were going on before Daniel lost the that career-ending match,
Yes.
and these might have been predicated on the potential re-signing of Daniel Bryan. But if Daniel Bryan just goes to Japan for a bit under his own volition, uh, I mean we've got Bryan Danielson back, and it really won't matter what the WWE thinks. I would think that the WWE would attempt to forge a serious relationship, not to do it in spite of AEW, because Tony Tony Khan is thinking he's bigger than he actually is.
He got that tape measure out.
Yeah, and like Tony Tony put it this way: this is a dick measuring contest. Tony is still unbuttoning his fly, and the WWE has already poked a couple of eyes out. Because I mean, because this is only a dick measuring contest to Tony Khan,
The
and you
way
know what
he's
they?
been acting, it certainly sounds that way. Could you kind of tell us what Tony Khan said before AEW Dynamite yesterday on Friday.
Oh, better yet, I can even play it.
We don't want to get sued.
Oh, okay. I'll do my best Tony Khan impersonation there. Thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate it, Mr. Schiavone. And as we get ready to go live tonight on Dynamite, I just want to address as the Forbidden Door. I read in the Observer today that New Japan Pro Wrestling has had talks with WWE's president, Nick Khan. Well, Nick, I have to say, if you've been talking with New Japan Pro Wrestling for 2 months, you've gotten a lot done. Just in the last 2 weeks, I've had Yuji Nagata, Ren Narita, and Rocky Romero on AEW. Hold for applause. I've reunited Roppongi Vice. Hold for applause. I've had the New Japan IWGP United States Route 66, I-95 north to south, east to west, reverse cowgirl champion John Moxley defend the title successfully on our show, retaining it, because that's not what defending the title successfully means. I have future plans for New Japan and the U.S. title. So screw all the other New Japan titles. So you really must have gotten a lot done in 2 months, Nick. And in fact, there's only room for one Khan in the wrestling business. And it's the great O, Nick. I mean, it's me, Tony Khan. That's me, right? I'm Tony Khan? Yes. It's not some con man from Connecticut. Have a fun show tonight, Nick. He has a show tonight, right? I don't think so, Tony. Whatever. See you on Dynamite.
Now there was a little bit of ad-libbing there, but
It was edited for content. A little bit of paraphrasing there.
yeah, but jokes aside, he actually said that.
Yes, and Tony Khan has officially been renamed, at least to me, Bitch Fist. He has God damn, he would out bitch Regina George from Mean Girls.
Now, second sentence of that whole good rant. What was the second? What was the second sentence, Scooter?
I had the almost underage boy I pay read the Observer to me today that New Japan Pro Wrestling was in talks with WWE. That was also
that is all I needed to know. Tony Khan reads the Wrestling Observer. Anything he says after that loses credibility in my eyes. I'm busting out laughing.
I mean, who still reads?
Well, he might have somebody read to him. I mean, he's that rich.
I mean, his harem of YouTubers.
We love you, Cinema Girl. Please come on our show.
Girl on Cinema, not Cinema Girl. Girl on Cinema.
No, we're trying for Cinema Girl now.
We're going for the knockoff.
We're going for the bootleg.
Hi, I'm Cinema Girl. What's wrestling? Ew.
We're getting Jimmy Fallon? Anyway.
Yeah. Why did your mind go there?
You said ew.
Nobody else says ew, apparently.
I don't know.
Oh God, Tony. Oh my God. I want to walk up to him and just slap him. Oh my God, it's like he wants to antagonize people. And,
Now,
and if that's his choice, he's doing a bang up job.
now, my details on the whole situation was a little sketchy at the time. I was very young. But when Eric Bischoff took pot shots at WWE, was it cool or was it bitchy?
It was cool in a way that actually fit into the WWE's product at the time, which was the Attitude Era. And yeah, the fact that the WWE, if they really wanted to, they could have put an immediate stop to it. No, they used it to their advantage. In fact, I think after the Archbishop call out of Vince McMahon and him declaring himself a winner at Slamboree '98, he I believe that was when legal action, I believe a cease and desist uh, was sent.
But that's when, WCW was, actual competition against them and was
Uh,
almost
th-
put
th-
them out
th-
of.
this was no this this was May of '98.
So
The
right in the
next
heat of it.
month, the next month, yeah, they would be for the past for the they would have been beating them for the past 5 months at that point. The next month they would get the highest rating. Raw would get their highest rating ever at a silly 6.2. Um,
And AEW right at this point is what? A gnat in Vince McMahon's face?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's like Tony Khan's in a Valley of the Giants, like trying to like jump up like, hey, look at me, look at me, and then somebody sits on him accidentally. He'd be like, what was that? I don't know.
Donald Trump said it?
My butt itches. Don't ask me about Tony Khan. I don't like him. Never liked him. Melania doesn't like him.
No. I think they'll
But,
conclude.
but I'll tell you,
They'll
I, Barack Obama, hate that son of a bitch.
send your hate tweets to @ScooterDust.
Hey, Michelle, get over here with your big bumming milkers. Barack, don't make me break a cab off.
Are you done?
Yes.
Alright, I think that'll conclude our coverage of the news for this week. God willing, we don't have to talk about AEW anymore tonight. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. Oh, do you have something else to say?
Yes. Hold on. Yes, Tony Khan is confirmed he's been diagnosed with having his head up his own ass.
Well, you heard it here first on Wrestling with Entertainment. Who says we don't get exclusives? So, glad we don't have to talk about AEW anymore. Quick word from our sponsors now.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.